Good morning. My name is Lillian Doherty, and I'm the Director of the Infrastructure and Sustainability Department for the City of Encinitas. On behalf of the city and our partners, I would like to extend my gratitude to all of you for making it out on this early Monday morning to our halfway through construction event celebrating our Leucadia Streetscape and El Portal projects. In preparing for today, I went back to the city archives, back to 2007, where the words of long-term resident Kathleen Lees of Leucadia Town Council and Patricia Bell, a former director of Leucadia 101, reinforced the importance of trees. At this halfway event, I'm so proud to be able to say that we have planted 40 of the 101 trees that are anticipated to go into this phase 1 alone. Since 2007, this project has grown in meaning to include an opportunity to improve safety, encourage mode shift, and address drainage issues. Once completed, this project will be a gathering space, a shady walkable corridor, one where we can proudly say reflects a collaborative effort of our council, city staff, residents, and community groups. And with that, I wish to introduce our mayor, the mayor of the city of Encinitas, and chair of the board of SANDAG, Ms. Catherine Blakesmore.
Thank you so much, Lillian. Thank you, everybody from the city and the community for coming out today. It's great to be here to celebrate the halfway mark of this really exciting project. So this is our largest infrastructure project. We're putting substantial city money into this project, and it's something that will fundamentally transform the way we use public space. And I feel like that's something we talk about at the City Council again and again and again, is how to make it more walkable and bikeable. This project is the epitome of doing that. And so I feel tremendous pride being the mayor as this project is happening. I know all of my city council colleagues do too. We're all 5 of us here today because this is so important. And I'll just recognize everybody. I know everybody here knows everybody, but I would still like to recognize my council colleagues. So Deputy Mayor Tony Kranz. You want to wave your hand just in case there's one person who doesn't know? Oh look, you have someone on the other side cheering you, Tony. Oh, there's John Giada. Hello, John. And then we have Kelly Shea Hinsey right here. And we have Joy Lines right here. And Councilmember Joe Mosca right here. And our city manager, Pam Antill, right there. She's been here exactly 1 year today at the City of Encinitas. So this is a great place for her to be on her 1-year anniversary. And tomorrow she'll have her very first city council meeting in public during her time here as the city manager. So that's also an exciting milestone. But it's really great to be here. You know, I was talking to some people in advance about this project. So we have the undercrossing at El Portal and then Leucadia Streetscape, 2 separate projects that are being done together by the same contractor. And the underpass at El Portal does not have a lot of change orders. So when you think about like how do we know if a project is going well, if it doesn't have a lot of change orders, you know that it was designed well, it went through the permitting in a good way. This is why we hired SANDAG to do the project, because we know that they have expertise in rail projects. And as the chair of SANDAG, I'm so happy and proud that we were able to utilize that expertise here in the city of Encinitas. I'll also say that this is a great place to be, because looking that way is unimproved Highway 101, and looking this way is improved Highway 101. And driving here today on newly laid asphalt, you know, this is pavement quality that's like at 100%, will never be better. And we also have new trees in the middle, and you already have traffic calming. Like when you're driving through, people are already going more slowly. There's already a greater sense of peace and tranquility. And that's what we're really going for with this project, right? We're trying to retake this public space for all users, not just as a cut through, not as some place that people just use as the way to get where they're going and don't actually enjoy the space. So the ability to have traffic be slower and promote alternate ways to travel on bike and on foot, and then also these parking pods where we are today, just all of it is fantastic. So I'm so thrilled to be with you today and to celebrate this halfway mark. And I also just want to recognize the important role of Leucadia 101. So we have Annika right here. She is representing the organization. There may be others too. I think we have one of our planning commissioners is here too. Oh yes, there we have Kevin Doyle. So really long-time voices who've been working so hard for this project. When I was first interviewing to be on the city council with all the constituent groups in Encinitas, Leucadia 101, we just bought Pacific View, and Leucadia 101 said to me in 2014, what are you going to do to prioritize Leucadia Streetscape? Because this project has been in the works for years, it needs to move forward, and it has been complex. And we have to recognize the very hard work of our city staff, of Lillian, of Jennifer Campbell, of Jill, of Roy. We have really a great city staff who's been working so hard to make this project come out of the ground and be a reality. And so thank you to the city staff for doing that. Thank you for Leucadia 101 for your advocacy. And with that, I will hand it over to the next speaker, which might be Kelly. I think it's you. Come on up.
All right, that was pretty cool. The mayor had no notes, and she just said all the beautiful things that we want to hear about today, so I'm going to be reading, but that's all right. So my name is Kelly Hinsey, and I am so proud to serve as City Council member here for District 2. And this is a project that has really unique meaning for me as a council member and a lifelong Encinitan. My grandmother decided to make Encinitas her forever home, and then my mom did the same, and now I'm following in their footsteps. The North Coast Highway 101 Streetscape is and was one of my most foundational goals for my work here with the city. My mom taught at Pollocky Central for decades, and in 1989 I started kindergarten right over there. I grew up commuting on these streets by bike and asking myself about the possibilities for this corridor that has meant so much to me, my family, my friends, my neighbors. And today I'm grateful to be able to say that we are finally well on our way to seeing that vision come to life for us and the generations that will follow. In the future, our students will be able to cross under the rail line and get to and from school safely, get tacos at Juanita's, or maybe even their first job at Panikin or Bona Forqueta. And not only that, but as we wrap up our construction of the streetscape in the spring of next year, we will be well into our effort to paint dedicated bike lanes and modify the medians to provide safer passage for the thousands of Encinitas residents who travel with ease and comfort by bike on this beautiful tree-lined corridor. And let me say too, that for the businesses that have made North Coast Highway 101 their home, I know that construction has been full of challenges, and I want to thank them sincerely for their patience. They are the backbone of this corridor and our community, and I want to encourage all of my neighbors and our residents to spend all your money there the next couple of days and weeks. So keep shopping and keep supporting our small businesses because they really need us to get through this next phase. So, thank you. So thank you everybody who's here to celebrate us with us today. And now I'm going to turn it over to our Deputy Mayor and Chairman of North County Transit District, Tony Krantz. He looks the part, yeah.
Thank you, and good morning. I would also like to point out that these are not balloons, these are rubber balls, because we wouldn't be considering banning balloons and still using balloons, so please note. Like Kelly and Catherine, I'm full of excitement about the progress that's being made on this project. I joined the City Council in 2012 and became, I was appointed to represent Encinitas at the North County Transit District. And my number one goal as a council member was to find a way to make this railroad corridor more useful for the community. It was a transit corridor and has been since the 1880s, and there was essentially no change to the corridor for most of that time. And so the work that I see being done here is really creates in me a sense of pride that is very hard to describe. And it's because of the dedication of the city staff and previous councils that we have managed to make it to this point. And so one of the reasons that I decided today to wear this goofy hat is because it would allow me to tip my cap to not only city staff, but also to Granite Construction, who have managed to keep this project on schedule and on budget, and that's going to be really important for the ability to continue the work to the north. Ultimately, this is just an opportunity to whet the appetite of the community for all of the tremendous potential for this corridor. And in addition to a rail corridor that is quite old, we have 100-year-old infrastructure in this Highway 101, and to see Granite cut the concrete and cut the pavement and put in medians that have never had the benefit of a tree growing in that soil has really been very special for me. And I admit to being a bit of a construction geek. I couldn't handle the math that was involved in being an engineer, so I didn't go that direction, but I have really enjoyed daily bike rides in a loop around this project to just admire the work that is being done and the effort that's going into this. So to my colleagues, I thank you for the support that you provided to keep this thing moving. Again, previous councils, I had a meeting with Lisa Schaefer and Matt Tucker at the Panikin in 2013, and our conversation was all about how can we make the corridor better. And I think that the hardest part, being a very impatient guy, has been the length of time that it has taken to get to this point, but we've made it, and my sincere hope is that we can continue the progress, get the north end built, and then be able to continue the improvements on the east side of the corridor and make this railroad corridor something that the community can enjoy. We see a little bit of that down in Cardiff, that same look of the Coastal Rail Trail. We need to extend that all the way to Leucadia Avenue. And so we will continue the hard work to accomplish that, and I know that the city staff and the city manager are dedicated to seeing that happen as well. So again, thank you to everyone who came out this morning, and I very much look forward to the ribbon cutting that is probably going to be in the April timeframe, and the ability to ride my bike from the east side of the corridor to the west side without illegally crossing the tracks. Thank you. I'm not sure who's next. Lillian's coming back. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I would like to invite Ms. Annika Walden, Director for Leucadia 101.
I'm not as cool as Tony either, so I'm going to have to read from my notes. Thank you so much, City Council and City staff, for including Leucadia 101 today's celebration. This for us marks 15 years of advocacy by our organization for this critical infrastructure project. There have been so many of us that have joined in the effort to bring this forward. Some of our members, Charlie Marvin and others, are no longer with us, but if they were, they would be smiling from cheek to cheek. I look around and I can't believe that the renderings that I've carried for so long are finally starting to become real. Leucadia 101 is so glad to partner with the city and Sandag on these important projects, and it's so wonderful to see the city investing in improvements in our community. After the last couple of years, this is a positive change that will benefit all of us, but it does come with a sacrifice being made by our businesses. I sincerely hope that the Encinitas community can come together and support them through these next few phases of construction. I'm so grateful to be part of this project. That's very Leucadia. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be part of this project. My office is situated literally in the middle of Phase 1, and watching the change happen in real time has been incredible. At this time, I'd like to introduce Leucadia 101 Board President, Kevin Doyle.
Wow. Is this, do I have this right? It's, I started with this project 16 years ago. My wife and I had a little store down on the Gold Coast, and Charlie Marvin kind of conned me into joining this board, which then led to everything else in my history here. There's people who started this even before this. I mean, this was supposed to be the project that would happen right after the downtown Encinitas Streetscape, which was many years ago. I live right here, live on the other side of the tracks, just across from Juanita's. I'm really blessed. I have a little boy in second grade, and I get to walk him to school every day at Pawlecky Central. We can also ride along the sidewalks, although that's a little scary along the tracks. But this summer, we're going to be riding our bikes under the tracks, and we're going to ride right up to Neptune. We're going to hit the beach. And that's possible. That's not just me. I'm not the only one who's going to be doing that. There are literally thousands of people living right there on the other side of the tracks who desperately want to go there. And it's finally going to happen. I'd be remiss, we mentioned Charlie Marvin, just recently passed away. Morgan Mallory was our first president of the L101, and this was his dream. The two of them together were, Mutt and Jeff, they dragged this project forward, and they made this happen. And they introduced a lot of us to public service here. And, Charlie always said this is a legacy project. Whenever we kind of lost our way, he'd say, this is a legacy project. This project is going to be our legacy. This is not just for us. This isn't even for us. This is for our children, for our children's children. The benefits that we're gaining here are going to resonate down through the decades. And I want to say thank you for everyone who helped me carry this project forward. Thank you all for being here, and I love you all. Thank you. Will you come up? I think you're next. That was part of my talking points.
Thank you everyone so much for joining us. Before we adjourn today, I just want to mention to please have and enjoy a pastry freshly made at Panikin or a coffee from Lofty Coffee. Please take note, we also have boxed water, no plastic bottles here. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.